Good morning, everybody. It's Mark again. I'm back for another live. I know. Catch up and create. And what it's all about is in my own studio at home, talking to you guys in your homes. Or maybe you're at work. Who knows? I'm not going to tell anybody. So, as you can see, I have a new studio. For those of you who may be new, I have had a number of studios over the years. This one is currently my favourite one. What do you think? It's not quite finished yet, but yeah, let's hope I can finish it off. I'm loving the vibe of it at the moment. So I'm just going to wait for a few people to catch up. Look at that. Who's at the top of the list there commenting? We have Tom here already. Hi, Tom. How are you, mate? All right? I know. What a day. I know. It's beautiful here in sunny Wales. For those of you who don't know, I am in Wales, South Wales. And I'll let a few of you catch up, but I must say about 5 minutes before I actually went live, I had a knock on the door. So we've bought a new house, and one of the builders has come in to dig up my garden. So there we go. So hopefully he's not going to start it quite yet. He has just taken down the fence. So I've just seen him taking down our fence so we can get the diggers in to dig out some of our garden, because there's an issue with some weeds. So I'm just seeing a few seconds. Who else is here? I can't see too far without my glasses on. Let me just go. Are we live on Facebook and YouTube? I shall check now. Oh yes, we are. Yay! Third time lucky. That's what I like to see. Last week we weren't live on Facebook, and the first week we had a problem with the microphone. So I know I've figured out all those things out though, so all on my own. So yeah, hopefully you can hear me, you can see me on Facebook and YouTube. Obviously on YouTube you're going to get a little bit of a better quality than Facebook, but you know, watch it wherever you wish to. Hopefully I'll be streaming to Instagram and LinkedIn soon as well at the same time, so you can watch me on multiple different platforms. So today, what am I going to do today? That's a good question. I'm just going to read a few comments here from people. That's good. Good to see everyone really busy. Don't forget, if you are on YouTube, you can like and subscribe to the channel. It's always great to know who's watching, and you can just ring that bell for notifications. It really does help us, so thank you for that. Let's see who else is here. I'll just go on to my comments now. Oh, we have, Rox is here as well. Hi, Rox, how are you? In Australia, you're in Australia, Rox. So yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, so it's been a good day. I've had a few days off actually. I went to Weymouth. I don't know what everyone else has been doing, but I had a few days away in Weymouth and Dorset. So yeah, visiting my daughter, who is a singer at one of the holiday parks. So we went down to visit her because it's actually her birthday. Yes, yesterday. Yesterday was her birthday. So we went down on the weekend just to go down and see her. We watched one of her shows, it was absolutely amazing. And we did a bit of sightseeing as well, so yeah. And we ate plenty of good food as well, so yeah. Turned out to be a very, well, let's face it, wasn't good on the old calorie count, I must admit. It was an awful lot. Even on the last day, I thought I would go for something really easy, like on the menu was fish finger sandwiches, but they were nothing like a fish finger sandwich that you and I would make. It was absolutely huge, like a Scooby-Doo snack. So there we go. It's quite warm, so I am having some liquid. So today, what I thought I would do would be let's have a look on here. Okay, I know Christmas, it doesn't seem like Christmas, but it is. You know, Christmas is approaching. We always do like Christmas in July, and everyone's buying stuff ready for the year, because it really does catch up on us very, very quickly. So I'm going to use just a couple of products today. I don't need to do an awful lot, because I think you can do an awful lot with very little products. So I'm trying to go minimalistic on this one. So we have the Shining Star stamp set, absolutely stunning, really, really good. and it's just great. It's not just for Christmas either, so you can use that for graduations as well. So really cool set, and I do like the grunginess of it. It's got all nice elements in there as well going on. Love that set. Nice size as well. Really cool. Then I'm also going to use what we call our Windows stencil. Not Windows 95, but it's just called Windows because these kind of reminds me of maybe like like a tower block, or of apartments and the lights in the windows. So that's what it reminds me of. So that's it's got that kind of vibe going on with that. So I'm going to use this stencil as well. So I think the combination of the two will have a little bit of a play. And I'm not going to do normally I'd probably make a card, but today I thought I'd do a tag. Now, if you've been catching me on Instagram, then please do check my Instagram out. It's Mark Alex Designs. Do check that out, and obviously have a look at some of the creations that I've been making on there, some of the reels, some great reels. And everyone's, I'm just reading some of these comments. Rox is saying she loves the Shining Star. Thank you, Rox. Yes, so I've been up in my Instagram feed, filling it with all kinds of great content, some great ideas on there as well, and that's what it's all about, is being able to share my ideas about how I obviously put the stamps together, stamps and stencil together, and then obviously what I would interpret doing with them. I mean, everybody's different. We've got a fantastic design team who make absolutely stunning projects. You can see them on the website, on the Visible Image website. Under categories, obviously and then you've also got their blogs as well for the design team, but they make some stunning samples, absolutely amazing. So we do love those. So with this today in mind, I'm gonna do, what's going on with this camera today? Wake up, there we go. So yeah, I'm going to concentrate on doing another tag. So we'll have a bit of a play, because sometimes if you're feeling possibly, if you're a little bit your mojo's lost, grabbing a tag is an easy way to start, because obviously the space is a little bit smaller, but it allows you to still create something stunning in a rather small space. It's really nice to be able to do that. And we have, I'm just trying to read the comments, sorry I can't read them here from this distance. We have Christine's, morning Christine. Can't stop long, but we'll catch up later. Yeah, definitely, no problem. Nice to be able to everybody who can pop in and say hello. It's absolutely fantastic. So now I hadn't thought about a giveaway this morning, but I should do a giveaway, shouldn't I? I know, off the cuff, and it is a bit of a giveaway. So what am I going to do as a giveaway? That's a good one. I will have a think about a giveaway, and I'm not going to do it in the hour. I will come up with the question later, and I will ask you a question, and maybe we'll do something later on. But I hadn't thought about it this morning. I know I normally do a giveaway, but I know we'll get there. Right, so let's have a play. These are just some watercolor card tags that I've cut from a piece of card. Again, great, so you can obviously spritz them and do whatever you want with them, which is nice. So I'm going to use a tag, so we get just a tag out, and then I'm going to work out exactly what I'm going to do with this today. So we're going to have a bit of a play with a stencil. We might bring in some texture paste, but we definitely do some cool stamping, and then we can use this as well. See, I like tags because you can actually do more with them. Obviously, you can actually put them in a card. You can just send them as a tag. You can actually attach them to obviously a gift as well, or a present, maybe a bottle of wine or something very special that you're going to give somebody. I think a tag as well looks absolutely stunning. So it's so nice that so many other people are here. It's great to see you all. We're going to have a play with the tag. So I'm just going to move these products out of the way a second. And we'll bring in our tag. Now, as I say, you can actually do it any way you want. You can obviously blend your inks through there if you wish to. But I'm going to do some, put texture paste through. And then we're going to do some spritzing as well. So I'm just going to Just going to put that over the top. Again, you can tape it down if you wish to, but you don't need to do that with this because it's a small tag. And I'm not texture pasting at all. I may do a kind of diagonal top left, bottom right, because obviously it's all about balance and weight. So sometimes people don't know what they're doing. So, you've got to find a balance between what you're creating. So the first things first is I'm going to get a palette knife and some texture paste. Now there's lots of different brands of texture paste on the market. I'm just using one I've got in my stash. So this is a distressed grit paste, and it's opaque white. So just take the lid off there. Very easy to do this. So all we're going to do is we're going to place the stencil where we want it. As I say, I'm going to kind of go down here and we're going to bring it down to the bottom right there. So just going to, maybe I'll just zoom in just a little bit so you can see that a little bit clearer. How's that? There. Always nice to be able to see. It's like some videos where you can see what people are actually doing nice and close. Mistakes and all. So I'm just going to go through my stencil here. Again, just not being very too specific as to where I'm going with this. And we'll bring it down there. Now, as I come down to the bottom, if your stencil could be possibly not quite as long as the tag at the bottom here, then that's not a problem. All we're going to do is we're just going to lift that off there. And then I'm just going to go down a little bit more here, possibly, just to bring in a little bit more of that texture coming through. And again, nice and rough, doesn't going to be perfect. I'll just take this off now. There, so very easy to start with here, which I think is very nice indeed to start off with. Again, it isn't going to be perfect. It's just how you're creating and having a play. This is going to be your background for what you're creating. Now I will put that to one side just for a second whilst I just clean up. Make a right mess quite often. So I'm just going to wipe my stencil. Once upon a time I would never wipe stencils. I'd just let them go really grungy. But I've turned a leaf and I'm cleaning up as I go because my craft room gets very messy very, very quickly indeed, which isn't a good thing. So let's wipe that up, and we'll actually put it wash it in the sink afterwards. There we go. So we'll bring that in. Okay, you can see that. Right. So next we want to just dry that a little bit. Now, normally I would let that dry naturally for about half an hour, but I need to be doing some spraying. So we're just going to use our heat tool and just give it a little bit of a helping hand. Just be very careful you don't burn yourself. We have Beverly here as well. Hi Beverly. So just drying that off a little bit there. Again, if it crinkles up a bit, that's all good. It will flatten out eventually. Right, okay. So I think we're pretty much done with that there. Now, the next thing we want to do is, let's have a look at these comments here. Beverly's saying good morning. Hi Beverly. Katrina's here as well, and May. So, and Karen's here from Karen from New Zealand. I have a friend who lives in New Zealand. Don't ask me where because I don't remember. Yeah, so it's there. But that's looking good. So again, let's just touch it. Yeah, it's not too bad in terms of drying. Right, let's bring in some sprays. We need to add some colour into this now. This is what we want to do. So again, just grab, I don't know, I've got some, these are the normal distress sprays. So we've got candied apple, we've got picked raspberry and festive berries. I just kind of grabbed the three kind of reddish colours because that's what I'm going for in this one. I'm not really sure what the difference is between these two. I'm going to spritz them and we'll see what turns out. I may actually get something. What else have I got here? Let's see. Oh, might have a bit of picked raspberry as well. Oh, I've already got that. That's two. I've got two. Right, I'm not talking rubbish. We've already got that one there. Right, it's fine. we'll just spray, all right, festive berries. Start off, because it's Christmas, I'm doing a Christmassy tag. So we're going to spritz this and see where we go. Ooh. I was surprised at how things actually come out. And I do always like the end result, so I have a bit of picked raspberry in there as well. That really does brighten it up just a little bit. What else? What else? Candied apple, picked raspberry. I'll take that one as well. Right, okay, what we're going to do is drip that a little bit, and we're going to dry that off now. Again, if you've got oxides, then feel free if you wish to use some of your oxides. I may use some oxides after, we'll see how it dries, because obviously when you spray this as it is, it never dries exactly the same as you spritz it when it's wet. And it's good because it's nice to see it coming out differently to what you thought. So let's just go with that. And just take your time there. And again, we're trying to create maybe a Christmassy looking tag. Again, just go with the flow, have fun and have a play. I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? You can see, look how much mess I've created here. It's fine, it's all good. And again, I do like those little drips and runs that go on, that's really good. So I'm just going to dry that off. Now, it's nice to be able to create stuff in real time as well. I mean, I know I do a lot of videos and pre-records, but you know, doing something live, because things never ever turn out the way you think they're going to turn out, which is good, because you don't want to. Let's just mop up some of those drippy bits there, and I will get my wipes and clean up a little bit. So just put this to one side. I know, incredibly clean. See, that this is a waste, so you really should get yourself another tag or something, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm not looking after or conserving my products that much. You should. Right, okay, bring that back in. Okay, so we have a tag that's nearly dry, and I want to do a little bit more with it. So now I'm thinking I'm going to put some ribbon on this as well, so I think maybe I'll be able to add some ribbon. We'll see about that in a minute. So we'll just dry that off. Dry up those little areas here. Now we will get our, just to give it a little bit more, use some water in a vaporizer, and we're just going to flick that over the top, just to give it a bit more interest and depth and texture, which is what we're looking for. Just give that a second to react with the water, and then we can just go in and mop that up. Just have those areas there you want dried off. Yeah. So you can see, if we go in there now, you can see we've got some nice little mottled areas going on, and I like that. But we're going to add to that. We're not going to keep it just like that. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we will get some sprays. So I think I'm going to use possibly some gold ink. What have I got here? It's nice to look for something different. Okay. Okay, this is all. So I'm going to use some Liquitex ink. This is a bright gold, which I like that. Very nice colour. And again, I'm just going to spritz it. Now, you don't know how, if you don't have Liquitex gold, you can possibly get away with some of the distress spritzes or the mica stains as well, which are both good. I actually got that one as well. So if you've got that, maybe you could use that one as well. Flickering candle. It's a nice one, that. Might use that one, because maybe this is something that more people have than they may not have this one. So I'll use this, because I'm sure more people have got this one. I know. Shake it, stir it. It's probably not got a lot left in there. There's enough to have a plate. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to hold this at an angle. And what I'm after is I want it to run down my tag. So I'm going to spritz on the end here. If it comes, see, so one of the things about, there we go. And we're just going to spritz some of those areas. I like the runs. So runs is what I'm after. Oh, you can see that in the light now, how that's really coming alive with those different colours. And because of the mica in there, it's kind of really sparkly looking as well, which is nice, especially for if I'm going to use the star. Now, what I can do, I wonder what happens if I mix these up here now. So this is obviously thicker, and it does come with a pipette. I don't know. No, I won't be using that. I don't think I'll be using that. Might do, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, we could use that. That works as well. So, and again, you know, depends on what product you've got. Just have a play. That's quite thicker, so don't worry too much about that. Let it run. Again. So you need to let that run, and we'll dry that off now. Again, you can see how that's working. Maybe you don't like that, but I do, so we'll carry on. Sometimes, even if you think it's not going to turn out well, please do not give up. Persevere, because if you carry on, you'll never know where it's going to go, and you've got to do that. Trust what you're doing. You know, it's never, you know, those accidents. I think one of the videos, one of the reels that I created, it kind of goes into, you know, I have shown how sometimes when you make a mistake, you can actually, I mean, that's not a mistake, but when you make a mistake, there's a way to fix it. So we're just going to dry this off a little bit more. Again, this is obviously a tag that could be used for Christmas, but I think obviously with the Christmas season coming, this is going to be definitely used for some kind of Christmas tag. Now last week I actually did a tag, I made a card actually, and it was incredibly green. So this week I thought I'd do something that's not green, and we'll go for red. So just dry this off here. And I'm also just going to check. Check out how we are live. Right, okay, we are live. Okay. So just dry that off. Now as you can see, as it's drying, it's getting that lovely texture. And also, let me just zoom in here on the camera, just so you can see. With the texture paste as well, kind of got this kind of goldness going on there, which I really like. That's going to be a great background. Again, you can add more red if you want to as well, but I like that. But what I wanted to show you was that how sometimes what happens when you overheat texture paste. This particular one, the Tim Holtz one, if you kind of overheat it a little bit, it kind of goes a little bit, it puffs up a little bit, but then it also kind of goes a bit glassy, and I kind of like that as well. So I'm just kind of heating it up a little bit past it where you're heating up past where you should really, but that's good. Okay, just heating that up now, as you can see. I'll just turn the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Again, you can see it puffing up there. That's good. Okay. So as it's cooling down, if you want to just be very careful with it, maybe you can just pat that down if you wish to. It's going to be still very hot, so just be careful. And then you've got this kind of shininess, puffiness going on there, and I like that much more than just having a rather flat texture, and it is really touchy-feely now. It's very nice. Okay. There we go, you can see what I'm doing. Right, so the next thing I want to do is Now, if I'm happy with that, I may just, I might just get my blenders. I might do some blending. So what I've got here. So my blending tool, and I'm just going to grab a red. Might use Bundle. Again, first darkest red I've come to. It's a kind of orange, slightly orangey red, but that would work great with that. So I'm just going to bring in my tool. And I'm just going to go around the edges there with that, just because I want it a little bit darker on some of those areas. Just bring in that colour. Very easy to do. Again, you can see how bringing that red in across the top there, just everything pulls your eye and your focus to what you're creating. So just bring that in. Again, very easy to do, and seriously, you know, if I'm doing this live for you guys now, then you can definitely create something like this really quickly, even if you take a little bit longer than I did. Okay, so we have our kind of background going on there, which is nice. And Rox is saying about how handy tags are. Great, yeah, great on bags, yeah. Perfect, absolutely perfect. You know, or put them on a bottle of wine, possibly. What have we got here? Mica sprays look fabulous, thank you. Oh, Michelle's here from Adelaide, South Australia. Hello, Michelle. Is it evening there? Don't know what time it is in Australia. So, right, next thing I want to do is let's do some stamping next. We'll put this to one side because we've got a nice kind of background going on there now. Again, not a traditional kind of Christmas card or Christmas tag, but we're going to go with it and we're going to carry on. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get my stamp set. So the stamp set I'm using, if you just arrived on the scene, is I'm going to be using this one, which is a great stamp set. Again, it's a star, so incredibly easy to cut out. It's only, you know, it's only the sort of straight edges, very easy. I mean, obviously you'll cut out, if you're cutting it out and layering it up, then, but otherwise you'll lose these bits, but it's great if you want to stamp it and then cut it out and put it on top as well, so you can have a different layer going on there. And I like that, it's really cool. So I'll take this away and I'll bring in my stamping platform. And again, all we're going to do is we're just going to ink up our star. I've got a star already on there, and I'm going to use Versamark, which is a clear ink. It's a clear sticky ink, which is this one here. Again, I've got a couple. I've got a clean one which I keep cleanish, and then I have one which is a little bit on the dirty side because I didn't clean my stamp previously, but that's fine. Still works really well. It's nice to be able to use this one as well because you can see, you'll be able to see what I'm actually stamping beforehand. Otherwise you won't be able to see anything at all. So I use that. I need a piece of card. So we just grab our stamping platform. Again, whatever stamping platform you've got works great. This is a Misty, which was actually given to me, which is great to have. So obviously I'm just going to use that. There we go, that'll be perfect. So just use your Versamark. Plenty of the clear ink over the top, because you want a good impression. And then we're just going to place that down, and we're just going to go around like so. Very easy. Give it a chance for that ink to transfer off your stamp onto your card. One of the kind of rookie mistakes is, or beginner mistakes, is that you will kind of stamp down and then lift it up straight away, and you don't want to do that. You want to give it a little bit of time for that transfer to work. Again, now you can just see the outline there because obviously I'm using a dirty Versamark pad. If you weren't using a dirty one, you would not be able to see that whatsoever. So I'm just going to re-ink it up. I'm just going to go over it again just because I want to have a very nice image. So we're just going to go over that again. We'll take that off, And now we're ready to, we're going to heat emboss this. So we'll take this off here. And I'm just going to bring in a piece of card, and I'm also going to use some of my white embossing powder, which is opaque bright white, super fine, which is a great white to use. I think WOW do some amazing embossing powders, absolutely fantastic. So we're just going to sprinkle that over the top. Tip off the excess. We'll put that back into the pot. Now you may just be able to see there the embossing powder on the card. There we go. So I'm just going to heat that now. Now you can heat from below or above, it's entirely up to you. For the sake of this live that I'm doing, I'm going to try and heat from so you can just see what I'm doing. There we go. I'm heating from below, but you do have to be careful if you're new to embossing. You don't burn your fingers. And you start to see that as it changes, you chase it and you move along to the next part. You'll see it turn, but you don't want to stay on there too long because obviously you can overheat it as well. If you overheat it, the embossing powder actually kind of sinks into the card, and you don't want that. So, okay. Right, okay, and we're done. So now I'll show you. Okay, so move that in a bit. Okay, so you can just about, can you see that? But it's nice that you can see how shiny that is as well. So you see that? There we go. Really nice. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is you want to simply cut that out using a pair of scissors or a knife. If you know me by now, you know that I don't often use scissors. I always use a knife. So I've already got one that I've just cut out earlier on. That's the only thing I've done is cut that out. But we don't want a white star. We obviously need to. This is going to go with this, so we need to marry those two together. So we just need to give this one some colour, which would be cool. So I'm just going to put this to one side, and I'm just going to get a piece of tissue this time. I don't want to try and make too much of a mess. Okay, and we'll put that down there. We'll put my card to one side, and this time we're going to get some other sprays. So I'm thinking that I may use some fossilized, we've got, oh, that's a nice one. I didn't see, that's kind of a slightly dull yellow, but I like that, so I might use some fossilized amber. What else I'm going to use? See, it's nice about just grabbing some sprays out and having fun with it. Or I'll probably use some, we've got some mustard spray as well. Mustard seed spray. Okay, so we'll go in with the fossilized amber to start with. Move that to one side. We just spritz that. And then we'll use this one as well, the mustard seed, which is obviously a lot brighter. That's good, all good. So again, you've got a wet looking star, but we're going to dry that off next. So I'm just going to dry this now. Again, trust the process, just keep on going. Again, if you've got too much ink on there, just dab that off there. You see how it can change the colour? So also, I think I'm going to use, what other colour I've got? I'll tell you what I have got. Oh, okay, I know that this one is I'm sure it's a D, it's not actually available anymore, Perfect Pills Mists, but it's a mica spray, which is really nice. So I'm going to use a little bit of that as well, just to kind of give it the brightest, but you can use any kind of bright mica yellow spray that you've got, and this, I can't, do you think I could get this one working? Typical. try the other one. Luckily I've got a few. Oh, there we go. So again, mica spray. There's lots of different brands on the market, but I'm going to use that because I think it's going to bring that shine that I'm looking for, that will tie in with the tag. So just dry that off a little bit. Mop up any excess. I think sometimes, we can get a bit too carried away with trying to do something amazing, and I think, sometimes less is more, and I think this will work really, really well. So just dry that off and just mop up any excess areas. I can take that off there actually so you can see a little bit better. There. And if I zoom in on the camera, so you can start to see how in the light as well. So let me just turn that to the light. You can see that it's got the mica there in it. I mean, obviously it's difficult to tell the mica on the camera, but it's definitely there. Really, really nice. So I do like that. And again, we have this lovely star going on. Now that's going to go with that. Inky fingers. You're not creating if you haven't got inky fingers. You can see how this will work really, really well with that. And again, what I like about sometimes is when you're creating tags is don't be too confined by the dimensions of the tag. It's nice to be able to have that star coming out because I think that looks really cool. And it just makes it look more dimensional. You can be, if you're too confined to your tag, I think it looks a little bit kind of tight and a bit boring, but this will kind of bring that to life a little bit more, I think. So that looks pretty good like that. Now we will add some more to that now. So what I'm going to do next is, I'm just going to get my Posca pen out just for a second. So I just want to put a little bit of white on there as well, just to add that, because I've got white on the star, bring a little bit more white into there, and that will really make it work. So just going to put that out of the way. Just going to bring, again, one thing about using pens and stuff is you're never going to get it the way you want it, so you're just going to have to live with it. Just kind of go different areas. Okay. And that works, that just works. You don't have to be too precise. Next we want to bring in our star again. Now I'm going to use some, I'm just going to use some of my my glue, which is what am I using today? The Pinflare 3D glue. Again, it's like a silicone glue, really, really cool. I use this stuff all the time, simply because it allows me to kind of move things around if I don't like the placement of it, and I can just put as much and different layers on as I want to. I'm losing the will to speak today. Right, so I'm just going to be careful where I'm putting this. Obviously the sides of my star will overhang, which is good, so you can't put the glue right on the edges, obviously. But you just want enough on there, just kind of make that work. And again, because it's a clear glue, you can always kind of clear up if you've made a mistake or a blob's gone where you don't want it to go. Okay, so just clean that. Right, next, turn this over. Okay. Again, this is like, this is having fun, having a play. Tags are a great way to start off your day, I think, if you're creating stuff, because you don't have to think too much about what you're doing. And again, I like having those stars overhanging the edges there. I think that looks great. Again, if you've got that little bit of curl, because I'm not waiting, I'm impatient, I'm not waiting for that to dry correctly, we're just going to go with it. Okay. Right, okay, so we've got a nice star going on. We've got a sentiment. I've already got a sentiment, and I will do some. I'll tell you what. I'm going to put some ribbon on there as well, I think. So, oh, Rox is saying it's 7 p.m. in South Australia. Nice. So again, I'm going to use. See. I think. Do you know what? This reminds me. This because we're actually doing something. Huh. Did anyone say anything? No, they didn't. My star is upside down. Huh. How about that? Do I keep it like that, or do I turn it over? Nobody. Why didn't anybody shout me out? My star is kind of like. Oh, right. Okay. Let's see. This is. Let's do it. Turn it over. There. There we go. I mean, only because of the wording. I mean, it would look great either way, but that's just me being fussy, I suppose. So just place that where you want it to go. Okay, I think we're good to go with the next bit. Rox is saying my star is on upside down. Yes, Rox, I know, I've done it now. Right, okay, and we're going to use the word star because that comes in that set, and I think it's just good. And I like having the contrast because if I want to put this actual tag onto a black background, which I may do later on, and I'll take a photograph, that's going to work perfectly with that there. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to stick that down. Tom is saying you can't beat red and gold. Is that right, Tom? I do, you know, I go through phases with colours. You know, you can get set in your ways and set with a certain palette that you just kind of go to again and again. And I think sometimes that is the actual, you know, that's what causes your mojo to kind of like explode. Sometimes you kind of get stuck in a rut of certain things, whether it be products, colours, and sometimes you just got to get out of that, just kind of, you know, break out and just do a little bit different. So I'm just going to stick that down above there. Now we're not quite finished yet because what have I got? So I've got some a bit of seam binding here. You see that? A bit of seam binding, and again, obviously not the kind of colour that I'm wanting, so I may have to just grab some of that out here, and we'll just cut that off. Huh. Found a pair of scissors, my rare pair of scissors. So let's put this out of the way just for a second. What's that going on there? Oh, a bit of fluff, right? Okay, don't want a bit of fluff on our tag, right? So move that to one side. Just put that there, and we've got some seam binding. And again, I don't like the colour of this binding, so I'm going to have to change the colour. So I'm going to go for a red. This is where it can get incredibly messy. So just watch out. Might use that. So can need up a bit of that one as well. So I like mixing the colours up because I don't want it totally uniform either. Sometimes it's nice to mix those colours up. Okay. Now what you do is you just all basically put your hands in and we'll dab it around. Do I get my, yeah. So I'm just going to have inky wet fingers. Just grab that colour up to do that. Now I will get some other sparkly stuff going on. Which one have we got? So is that the mica stain that didn't work? I don't know. Oh, that's kind of working actually, that works. Okay, so just pick a little bit of mica stain there. And what I want to do is just move that out of the way, clean up just a little bit. I know what a waste. And we will dry that off. So use your heat tool now. It does dry very quickly actually, so it's not too bad. Looks like I've cut myself here. Right, okay. So just drying that off. I mean, you can combine this with different colour ribbons if you wish to. I don't do an awful lot of things with ribbons, so but when I do, you know, it can look quite good. So it's nice to be able to do that. So I'll just turn it over. Okay. So I think we're just about dry there. Okay. So what you've got now is you have this ribbon with kind of like red and gold flecky bits in there, which looks really good. Do like that. So that will go with that perfectly. I'll just clean my absolute mess of a desktop. Right, leave that out of the way. Right, so we have a ribbon and we have a tag. Again, perfect colours that go with that. Now, whether you want to use any other colours, then you can. I don't want to though. I think I'm going to stick with a single colour. Again, just grab some ribbon, cut it to a size. Maybe a little bit long there. Okay, and I'm not going to be too precise with that. Just grab it through, grab a pokey tool. That's a pokey tool there. I'm just going to place that through here. Place that through there. Down. It's a bit tighter. Pull it until you got it tight as you want it. Always grappling with a bit of ribbon. That's fine. And we'll just cut those ends off. Again, cut one longer than the other. And there we have nearly finished tag by the look of it. Again, very simple to create, but I think that looks very effective. How does that look? You can tell I've been crafting. You can tell. That's good. I like that. Again, if you want to put a black mat around that, you can do, and I may do so afterwards, just to bring in the little bit of black, and that colour will really pop out. You just see there. See, you can easily just bring in how a slight black mat will make that work even better. There, just like that. So I'll trim that down, and that will go on there. Doesn't that look good? I think that's a really cool, simple tag to make, and very effective as well. So I hope you like that. That was a good one. You know, when you're creating, sometimes it's a case of that you've kind of got to trust the process and, you know, just go with the flow and have some fun. Fingers there. Yeah, so thank you very much for everybody for watching. Don't forget, please do try and have a look at my Instagram. Please do feel free to have a look at those. Some great calls there. I am Mark Alexander. Thank you very much for watching, and I do appreciate each and every one of you stopping by to comment. Shall we do a competition? Yes, why not? I will give away a free set if you can simply tell me, what should I tell me? Depends if you were listening or not. Where did I go at the weekend? Easy peasy. I told you at the start, so you'll have to just rewind. Do comment, make a comment on Facebook and on YouTube, on both of them, and then you've got twice as much chance of winning a prize. I do not know what the prize is, but hey, that's what a surprise is, isn't it? You won't know what you're getting. So I'll send you something. I'll send you this tag as well. So let me know where I was at the weekend and why I was there. So 2 things. So where I was and why I was there. So do leave a comment on Facebook and YouTube, and I will choose a winner by next week. So it'll give time for other people to watch this on catch up and then comment as well. So you'll still be in with the chance of winning. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all very soon. I am back in Redditch tomorrow in the office. So yeah, so going to be a great day. So thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Take care now.